Hello, Gavin. This is John Mumford from Fairfax, Virginia. I sent you a letter about 3 weeks ago with a copy of what's called the page proofs of a book that is now in bookstores. The title of the book is Broke: What Every American Business Must Do to Restore Our Financial Stability and Protect Our Future. This book was the culmination of 5 years of work and 6,800 hours that I've done in uncovering where our nation is headed in the 21st century. And it's in that connection that I reached out to you. As the former captain of Love Boat, our ship, you'll appreciate, is not in good shape. The water is not rising, the ship is sinking. America is broke, and it's hurting in a lot of ways that I want to share with you because I need your help in getting it back upright and afloat again. America has several large challenges as it faces the 21st century, as you're aware. One, the baby boomers that are retiring have found out that 20 years of their accumulated wealth has been destroyed in the last year and a half. This wealth was distributed to the haves at the cost of the have-nots. And so we've taken real good care of the special interests in the last year while we let middle America suffer greatly. As a result, 20 million Americans are unemployed. 1 in 6 has no job. Many of them have exhausted their unemployment benefits. Families are facing Christmas this year with no ability to get presents except from Toys for Tots and the Marine Corps. Meanwhile, our seniors are retiring at a high rate starting in 2007. They're selling their investments to be able to survive, or in the cases where they have no investments, they're finding out that their Social Security checks will be the same next year while our government has given itself a 3% raise in pay for having destroyed our economic stability in the last 20 years. Broke describes these problems. It gives their origins. These are massive leadership failures. And so as a result, our country in 2009, as we stand on the threshold of 2010, has 3 major storms on the horizon. The first is an economic and financial storm. I've described to you some of the difficulties in the loss of jobs and in the difficulties of middle-class families in balancing their budgets on unemployment checks in 1 out of every 6 households. If that weren't a big enough problem, I've told you about the seniors who are retiring with no hope for the future and their savings wiped out. So we have a financial problem of enormous proportions and no prospects for new job creation on the horizon. There must be some changes in policy, and that's where I need your help. We need to educate our Congress and our government on the policy changes that are needed to get us financially upright so that we can confront that storm. My book recommends a financial transaction tax which will enable us to be debt-free in 4 years, to fund our Social Security Trust Fund again with money in 6 years, and to reserve to pay off the $108.9 trillion in obligations that we've created under current law with no money to pay for them. Now, if we were going to do it any other way than a financial transaction tax, every active taxpayer would have to write a check on January 1 for $84,570. They would do it every year for 20 years so that we would have enough cash to do what our government has decided that we need to do. Clearly an impossibility, because then they would have to start earning a living and paying their regular taxes. The second big storm that I address in Broke is what I will call a demographic storm. In addition to those 77 million baby boomers who are retiring, 60% of our federal workforce will retire starting in 2010. They have no pension plan because it's paid out of current receipts. Unfortunately, current tax income is way down. It dropped 30% this past April, and we only collect 76 cents out of every tax dollar that's due because we have offshore tax havens and other ways that those of means can avoid paying and contributing to these costs. So we have to recruit at a very high cost new doctors for the Veterans Administration, new public servants, new members of the FBI, and new federal employees to fill the 60% of the jobs that are leaving. That's 5.4 million new employees at a high cost. At the state, county, and local level, 40% of the workforce is leaving. This is firemen, policemen, public safety officials, and others who are urgently needed to maintain order in America's 84,000 cities, counties, townships, and states. Unfortunately, 38 of those states are nearing bankruptcy, including yours. We don't know how many of the 3,200 counties are nearing bankruptcy, but they're all in financial stress. We do know that many of our 84,000 cities are also in financial stress, and they're meeting their budget obligations by taking teachers out of the classroom, policemen off the street, firemen out of the firehouses, and trying to recruit replacements who will need to come in large numbers in 2010. What do we do about that problem? Plus our environmental problem, that's another lurking difficulty. We get every 18 to 24-year-old to give us 2 years of public service work at a cost of the minimum wage. So we'll pay them, but we need them to clean up the environment, and we need them to help with hospitals and other jobs that they can do while we try to rebuild our public workforce. The third storm on the horizon is what I call a leadership storm. Our country is run of, by, and for the special interests. That's why we've had 21 economic meltdowns in the last 50 years. That's why we wiped out 20 years of accumulated wealth in all of our pension and savings account, because we took care of Wall Street because they wanted to be taken care of. So we did what I call socializing the losses and privatizing the gains. So Wall Street did well, corporate executives did well, the elite did well, government's done well, but Main Street has been decimated. So we need new leadership algorithms, we need new leadership approaches, and we need leadership that's committed to be of, by, and for the people in our country. So how do I need your help? I need you to be the voice of an education campaign on making these issues work. I urgently want the captain of the Love Boat to be the captain of a new ship America in the 21st century. I want to get that ship strengthened. I want to patch up the holes in the hull. I want to lower the waterline which is creeping up to the deck to sink us, and could any day now. So I need your answer and I need your help, and I'll be glad to come to California to talk it in more detail if you wish to do so. In the meantime, your autographed copy of Broke will be in the mail this week, along with this DVD for you to consider. I wish you and your family the very best in this holiday season, and that your wife's illnesses will be a long and distant memory by the time this DVD comes. Thank you so much for considering this opportunity.